ready.
Call this meeting to order. Remove your hats and stand. We'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I had mine.
Good thing we got 5 councilmen. I just realized Alex wasn't here this week.
Good thing we added the extra one so we wouldn't have this problem.
Exactly. All right, I'll entertain a motion for, you guys are going to be busy, by the way, so.
I'll make a motion,
Minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 23rd, 2026.
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second for approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. So moved. Ms. Atkins.
All right, so you guys have the fund report in the Dropbox. It does look a little different than how it has in the past since we have our new system in. And then the allowance docket looks a little different too. But I have 2 tonight, so I have the first one of just the actual claims to be paid. So just need approval on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims paid.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve accounts payable. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. So moved.
I also have the allowance docket for payroll for the month of March that would need to be approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll docket.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the payroll for March. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. So moved.
Okay, then I have the additional appropriation to rainy day in the amount of $350,000. This is what would be then reimbursed from the RDC in chunks. So that just needs to have the additional appropriation approved.
You said 350?
Yep, 350 to rainy
My note
day.
here says 150.
Oh,
Yeah.
nope, it should be 350, that's my fault.
The agenda says 150, but it should be 350.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
fault, that's,
Okay.
I'll tell them that to do it. But yes, it should be 350, which is what they had asked for. Sorry about that.
I'll make a motion to approve the additional appropriations from the rainy day fund for the RDC funding for the village shops in the amount of $350,000.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve ordinance 6-2026 for additional appropriation to rainy day in the amount of $350,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. So moved.
Okay, then the last thing I have is request number 6 for pay application number 3 to Theamin. It is in the amount of the pay application of $327,082.55 plus an escrow of $10,115.96 for that total amount that you see there of $337,198.51. So if you can just make a motion to approve the pay application and retainage. We're working through of how this needs to be done. I was just talking to Daniel about it. Most places don't require us to don't do retainage separately. They just do it at the end. So the way that we're doing it is different this time. So we're just trying to work through that. So next time, just know there might be 2 requests. One for the pay application and one for the retainage. But this one is combined, so.
I'll make a motion to approve pay application number 3 to Theamin in the amount of $337,198.51, also including the retainage.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second to pay application number 3 to Theamin for $337,198.51. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. So moved.
And that's all I have.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Mr. Wagner.
Not on the agenda.
I was gonna say, you're not on the agenda. I was like looking, I was like, so,
It's too bad, I got some stuff in there.
perfect. All right, let's move on. New business, nothing.
Everybody's having a business, right?
We have 2 resolutions in front of you. This is for the tax abatement to the Maxon property. When they were annexed, they voluntarily came in with the Southwire project. They're actually close to the end of this. We shouldn't have to do too many more of these, but we have 2 resolutions, 2026-4 and 5, and it just continues with their tax abatement that we agreed to when they were annexed. So,
Separate or together?
do them separate, please.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-4.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to approve resolution number 2026-4. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose the same, so moved.
And I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-5.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to approve resolution number 2026-5. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose the same, so moved.
The DORA ordinance, Keith and Tara and I got together to talk about it, and I think we've got it pretty close to its final form. I am actually going back and reformatting it to make it, I think I picked chapter 118 for it to be just kind of inserted into the town code. We have made some changes to it from the earlier drafts. We are getting a legal description of the area made. The version that I will have, hopefully, maybe as soon as tonight, will have the proposed signs that are going to be put in as an exhibit. It will have, I think the state application gets added as an exhibit. It'll have the area. It is kind of squirrely because we wanted to include like the Jackson Street Pavilion, but not First Federal. And some things like that. But we'd like you to see the map so you understand kind of what we're capturing in it, what we've proposed, and give you a chance to comment on that. But hopefully it'd be ready for first reading then at the next meeting. Now, there are some other things that have to happen, namely we have to get applications done from each of the designated permittees, or what we're calling kind of the resident businesses. Like the Wooden Peel is one. They may have already submitted their application.
They did, but it was back in September, so I may
So we're
have them
just
just
gonna
fill out a
update it,
new
yeah.
one, since we're in
So
2026.
they're ready to go. We looked at existing liquor licenses. I don't think Anoka's has one. And La Paria has one, but I've been told they're not actually using it anymore. So the list of designated permittees may change.
We'll include both Buds and Hooples.
Both of those we have listed. We went through and we checked theirs. We were able to find theirs. So what we did was, we went in and searched for any certain types. You had to search by the type of license, but you could search for the whole town by zip code. And so we basically just pulled the whole list, and some places had theirs, but they had lapsed, so we took all the active ones and we put them on there, but they still have the right to tell us, no, we're not gonna participate, we can take them off. If they decide, if they don't participate now and they come in a year from now, like it's not a big deal to put people in or take people out. It's pretty flexible that way, but it'd be nice to get everybody. We also have 2 temporary vendors listed, but we're not quite sure what they're gonna do. One would, for certain, we just had them listed because we knew they had done that activity before. Basically the fire department or I should say the Firemen's Association and the VFW. And I'm not sure the VFW, Tara heard some scuttlebutt that maybe they're not gonna do it anymore. And it could just be the fire.
They don't want to do it because
They've had a minor.
Right now they're under new management. Brian has stepped down again, someone new is in his position. And their response to him was they're not event planners, so they didn't know for sure if they would take part in the festivals and such.
But again, they can always apply later on if
Yeah.
it's something that they wanna do.
So for personally, for the sake of this year, for events, if we get the DORA done, then, only people that have alcohol licenses in this area would be able to serve alcohol outside?
No. So, once, the way it works is, you can take the DORA cups anywhere in the DORA. So you could buy it at Bud's or Hoople's, and you could come over to the Jackson Street Pavilion area. So those are the designated permittees, those are the brick and mortar places. Wooden Peel would be another one. But you can still have the Firemen's Association, I'm not saying they will, since Matt is here, but they could, for Latin Fest, they could set up as a temporary vendor, and they could also sell in the Dora. They're just on a temporary permit, not a permanent one like the brick and mortar outfits.
Okay, but could they do that? Could they sell over there as well as in their brick and mortar?
I believe the ordinance says they can sell in alternate locations as long as we approve it.
As long
It
as
has
it's
to be
approved by the council.
approved, for them to be able to
Okay.
do that. But I think there's no reason that Hoople's couldn't set up a booth and sell there. Yeah, no, I don't think they're limited to just there. So, one of the things that I added was, I'm still trying to think about ways we may wanna change it, but like, we reserved the right on a new provision to temporarily close the door effectively. So I was thinking like the tree lighting ceremony, we don't necessarily want the regular alcohol sales for that. So some of us might enjoy it more, but maybe it isn't the best thing. But we need to keep the ability to kind of turn it on and off in rare instances like that type of event. So yeah, now the way we've drafted it before otherwise though, we don't have start and end dates for it. So it's technically gonna run, I think, kind of all the time, even through the weather where nobody in their right mind would be out there. You know, basically, I don't think there's necessarily hours of operation other than what we already have by ordinance for the town and what they're allowed to be open. So yeah, so it's come together pretty well, I think, but I always prefer to run it a little bit and then you start to realize, okay, here's where the holes are and this is what we need to tune up.
Would we still be required to have a fence at Jackson Street if we sold alcohol down there with the Dora?
No.
So that's, okay.
No.
Well, if you do, the funny thing is, it's not designed to keep the people purchasing alcohol in, it's designed to keep kids out.
Correct.
But they can take the alcohol out and go wherever they would like to sit. So no, I don't, those fences aren't required. You may still wanna put one up.
You can just put a couple like blockades.
You have to keep them in, because they can't be walking down Jackson Street that way then.
What's that?
So you'll have to keep, it has to be some sort of roped off, so they can't just walk down the street, Jackson Street to the west,
I think.
because that won't be in the Dora area at that point.
I think there just are supposed to be signs at the end of the Dora.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna put a fence around everything.
If you go outside of here, you're outside the magic zone that lets you walk around with this as an open container.
Yeah, there's just gonna be a lot of
But-
signage.
But
You, that's up to you,
Technically-
whatever you want.
we won't even go there. But
Yeah,
In that instance, I actually don't think it would be a bad idea.
I think
just don't
signage is what
that
you
you're-
do.
Well, signage, yes, but I don't mind a physical barrier to help people realize that.
if they're up a snow fence,
Yeah,
they have plenty, it's not that big
Yeah.
of a deal.
but the point of it is you're not required to do it. It still may be a good idea, but.
I
you're
just
not
like the
required
fact
to
that
do it.
for the Latin Fest, I'm not sure what Summer's End or anybody else does, but you know, we use that whole grass area for basically the drinking area, and I'd rather it not be. I'd rather for maybe for like stuff for the kids to do. You know, throw your camp chairs out there and hang out in the grass and stuff like that. I mean,
So like what we did when we would go get plastic barrels from Bellman's, fill them with water, and then we would zip tie a rope fence on the outside of the perimeter.
yeah.
So it was actually on the outside. So
Well, I know.
the
Yeah, I
snow-
know what you guys do because that's for.
That used to be when we had Oktoberfest.
I would say that's when we did Oktoberfest up here. Yeah. Okay.
So that way, they had that whole area still, but the barrels were on the outside, and the fence was barricaded.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so it's moving along and we'll be in touch with you guys on the vendor application, so.
Tony, while we're on that, Dora, would it be worth having Matt Benzos check beautifying the alley that we have here on the other side of Hoople's? We're gonna have the Greenman Village Shops, and then we've got an alley there just sitting there kind of on the ugly side right now. And if we're gonna have the Dora and people walking around and so on and so forth, do something, I mean, when you go to other cities and towns and they have doors, their alleyways are really pretty sharp, a lot of them. Would it be worth him taking a look to see what we could do there to maybe help that situation?
Well, that alley has been discussed as a potential downtown kind of beautification project for ages. And I don't remember, part of the issue may be one of the property owners along there may own it. It may not actually be public right of way. The other issue, I remember things that were discussed was one, I think it is used, at least somewhat. Are we ready to stop using it? I feel like there was someone who had kind of an important use of this. I wanna say we looked at this under the HCI project almost a decade ago now. And then, the other interesting thing about it was north-south and it really affected, lighting and temperatures. Brian, is any of this ringing a bell to you? Yeah. So there were some reasons, I don't think it's any reason to say don't look into it. We could dust off whatever those plans were, because this would be a way to maybe put in some seating or something like
That's what I'm
that.
thinking.
Napanee has that,
Right.
that kind of cartoon alley or whatever
Right.
they call it.
Right.
You wouldn't have to do much, you could string some lights and throw some
Right.
seating out there.
Maybe that simple, but, yeah, it just depends on, we have to, one, look at who controls it, I haven't looked at that in ages, and two, are we ready to tell people, no, you can't use it anymore?
Well, I think if we're doing the door, or we're doing the sheds, maybe it's time that we do shut it down and put it to use.
Yeah.
Just
no,
a thought.
Nope, I don't think that'd be, a bad thing, and Matt would be, probably the best person to start off with that. There's some
Right.
other people who I would rope in.
Right.
But yeah, he'd be a great person to start looking into that with,
Thank you.
so.
Okay, new business. Anybody have anything for new business? Old business, nothing on here. Public comment? Come on up, if you'd state your name and your address, please.
Jeff Arndt, 111 Joey Court. I got a concern about 121 Joey Court. The property is very bad shape. It needs cleaned up. I got pictures and documented clear back to 2020. And I've lived there since '85. And the present owner just neglects to take care of it. I'd just like to see something done with it.
Okay.
And I'm not the only person. I know Keith Grant had a call from another neighbor,
Where's Joey Court? Is that in Shoemaker Edition?
Shoemaker Edition.
Okay.
All the way back.
All the way back? I'll drive by it tonight.
Actually, we've got it drafted, and we're starting that process now. So, essentially Keith and I and Tara, again, we went over that last week. Keith already has a lot of pictures. We're coming up with something that's, this first letter is basically saying, we contacted you last fall, here is what you have to do unless we're gonna start writing tickets. And ultimately, the goal is, this isn't just this specific property, but others, if we have to, we're gonna go in and get a court order that says, this is what we're allowed to do for cleanup, and charge the expenses back to the homeowner, depending on what we have to do. So hopefully we wanna give them a chance to take care of it themselves, and if they don't do anything or don't show us any progress, then yeah, there's gonna be, some additional problems.
Is the ordinance online now, right? Okay. I'll talk to you afterwards. I'm curious on like what,
No, just property.
you know, what we're, you know, when it comes to a property, what we're going to enforce and what we're not going to enforce, right? I mean, vehicles in the yard, I think there's an ordinance that vehicle have to be on a hard surface. I'm sure trash is probably an issue, you know, it should be trash laying around out in the yard, they have to keep it mowed. But there does come a certain point.
He's had a tree down the back, big limbs down in the tree. Probably lasted 3-4 years maybe.
It's wrecked a fence, you know, there's the fences in danger of collapse.
I'm just wondering
There's
if we
a
need
number
to
of different
beef up
things.
our ordinance on personal property, or if we've got enough there already.
I guess I'd like to try this out and see, but the one thing that we haven't done that we've been kind of awakened on is using the planning commission and the BZA for enforcement. So the one thing we discussed last week was, here's all our town ordinances, but in this case, the town ordinances apply because the property's within the municipal boundaries, but the zoning ordinance actually had some other things to say. So if we're gonna go in, if we end up having to litigate with somebody over this thing, we're gonna kind of load up everything we can and just throw it all out there. So ideally,
Here recently, his front storm door fell apart and glass was shattered all over the front step.
Is he not capable, of this person not capable of?
I think he's capable. I'm 67, I take care of my own yard,
yeah.
you know? I think, and he's younger than me,
Are you sending it out?
so I believe he's
Tony?
well capable.
Are you sending the letter out soon?
You know,
Yeah.
If anything else,
Yeah, but,
hire a couple high school kids.
Yeah.
okay.
About 3 weeks ago, Mr. Art came and spoke to me on this, and I went down and I checked on the property. And it is exactly what he says.
I've had rodents in my yard, I've had
Yeah.
skunks, groundhogs, possums, you know,
There's the house itself, literally the trim around windows in the front door, they're just falling off. It's in need of repair. I think there's 3 lawnmowers sitting in the front yard.
yeah, he just mowed last week, so he moved them.
Yeah.
See,
so
some of
just-
those things I think are things that we can do,
And
deal
some we
with.
can't.
Some of them we may not be
I get
able
that,
to.
but, the backyard, it's
Yeah. The north, the
rat
the
infested.
back of the fence on the north side is collapsed.
Right,
My dead neighbor on the east side said that hers fell over, she asked him to put it back up. He said he'll get to it someday, well, she wound up putting it back up.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm on the other side, so I try to maintain it the best I can without putting much money
and I
into
did
it.
speak to Tara, and she said a year or 2 ago that Keith sent the town guys out and had to clean up the area.
That was trend,
It was
that was
back
back
under-
in
that was
trend
back
days.
under
His
Trent.
old-
So we did this
His old
once.
house on
Yeah.
Marcia Street.
Yeah.
Okay. down
Yeah,
the
that was
property.
years ago.
Marcia Street, we went and cleaned it out.
But at this point,
Yeah,
After he left?
He let the house go and somebody else bought it. Yeah, he bought another house and just let that house and
Right,
it went
bought
to tax
the house
sale
down
and his house, it was patchy.
The front 2 windows look like they're almost mold on the inside.
Well, I'm sure if they're not taking care of it, or whoever's not taking care of it.
Yeah.
His house, inside the house is the same way. I had to go replace the water meter a couple months ago and patch it.
well, at
That's
this
his
point,
personal.
we've started working on it,
Yeah.
and it'll be moving forward basically over the course of the next few weeks. So,
More than capable.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right, Director of Operations, you got anything?
I don't, well, I guess, so Kent Koontz built a replica of the standpipe. And so the chamber, AKA me, I'm hoping I can get other chamber members, but I would like to put it in the parade to promote our fundraiser that we're doing for the standpipe. So if anyone wants to walk along with me in the parade, I would love to have more people to hand out flyers. That'll have the QR code on it, that'll take you right to the website to make donations.
Okay.
Otherwise, my other thing was the Dora, but it's rolling, so.
All right, thank you. Chief,
Nothing,
Henry,
nothing. Get my report.
Brian?
Been working with Mike on this, and Brian's been aware, but to make what's left of the council aware, it's you, Bill, I guess. Had some issues with the epoxy coating at the pool, and working with some of Mike's industry contacts to try to get that resolved, but shouldn't delay opening this year. Working with Brown & Brown, working with the paint supplier and a few other guys to try to get it resolved in a timely manner. But yeah, just wanted to make the council aware that we do have an issue there that we're working on resolving. Things are going well.
Austin?
Dan, do you have the stuff with me and Carl sees?
No, I don't. Is this the E and B topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I wasn't given anything before coming here.
All right. Ben? Matt?
You have a report?
Chief?
My report, but also, in 2021, I put together a 5-year projection to replace radios and make them phase 2 compliant. Talked to Janet. Janet said, yeah, you don't need to put it in your budget. I'll pull it from X account. So 23 and 24, the town paid for it. 25, I used the $50,000 from the county. I need to get that money. So I've been working with Megan on that. I believe she's found a home for that to come from. So we have this year and one more year. I just want to let you guys know that she found a home where I can get that money from.
Great.
So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Make a motion to accept department head reports.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve department reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So pose the same. So moved. You're up, Dan.
All right, thanks. You guys already approved the pay app. Just so you know, that pay app includes costs associated with mobilization, some supervision time, and the initial construction layout and site work out there. With that said, Thieneman Construction mobilized to the site and they started work as of March 31st. Currently, the guys there are working on finalizing site layout, constructing some of the access drives, including those back to the buildings area of the site, and starting to excavate the influent pump station structure. I'm gonna start driving sheeting out there so they can make that 30-foot excavation down there to start concrete work on that. Other than that, JPR submitted your guys' SRF PER update prior to the March 31st deadline. We should expect to see scoring on that sometime in this July. So probably around that time, around July, we need to probably start talking about phase 2 of the wastewater plant project, once we kind of see where we land and if we think we can realistically get in the pool program or something like that. So we'll have more info to that extent coming this summer. What was that funding to? I'm sorry, Dan. Is it SRF? Oh, that was SRF. Yep. Okay. Yep. Other topics on the water system PAR, sounds like Josh got what he needed for hydrant flow tests, and they're getting that stuff incorporated in the model. Josh indicates that he'll be looking at recommending system improvements sometime this month. With respect to the standpipe, we were notified that IDEM's HPF grant was not able to fund the project for this cycle. It was indicated a new funding round's open and they'll need to accept a new application. So that deadline's June 5th, so we'll be getting that turned around. Austin, I'll talk with you after the meeting here about E&B paving and all that.
Mike sent something to me after last meeting, so I think I do have everything to, if they want to approve E&B, and I have the amounts and everything.
And
Okay.
you guys would have had it in your Dropbox last meeting, the 3 different amounts. I can run and print it if you want me to, Bill, for you.
So are there any additional hoops we have to jump through to award this, or would this be a tentative award or a formal award?
This is be formal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have the amounts?
The amount for E&B, the total amount. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't see why we couldn't award it.
Yeah, I have the contract.
Okay, so we'd be looking for a motion to award the Bowen Avenue project to E&B Paving in the amount that Austin has.
It'd be $719,918.08, 719,918 and 08.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept, town council, I'm sorry. Where am I at?
I'm not paving.
Huh?
E&B
Or
paving.
Paving.
Or you want to
Contract
accept,
for
do you want to
EB
accept
Oh, I'm
town
sorry.
council
I got lost on
reports?
that one.
Department head reports?
Go ahead.
Oh, we started that and then it got cut off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it.
No,
Oh, we did it.
we already did that.
Oh, that's right.
We're already on.
That's right.
Yeah, we're
Never
essentially,
mind.
we're just
Never
saying
mind.
we're approving.
Okay.
Basically.
So I need a motion for the, street paving project for
Yes.
to be awarded to E&B, paving.
Yep, and the amount of, I'll make a motion to award the, what is it, we're calling 2026 Community Crossings Project to E&B Paving for the amount of $713,918.08.
Is it 713 or 719?
719.
719.
It says 713 right here on the bid. Total base bid.
Is there an alternate though? Is there an alternate bid item?
That was just the one sheet that I had last time that showed the 3 different.
On Mike's document, it says 719.
All right, if there's some discrepancy, we probably need to get it figured out before we
Okay.
move
We'll
forward.
do that.
Yeah.
We'll just wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll
I
get to
don't
the
know if
bottom
we
of
can
that.
wait though, is the problem. We've already pushed it a little bit.
Okay, well,
Do we want to say a max of 719?
You'd say up to 719, 918.08.
Okay. All right. I'll make a motion to approve E&B paving to a max amount of $719,918.08 for the 2026 Community Crossings Project.
Second that.
so we have a motion and a second to approve E&B paving for the Bowen Street project for Community Crossroads at an amount of $719,918.08. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
All right, awesome. Last thing I've got on here is Stock Street project. We've received CAD files for the improvements on Stock Street, and I saw just before this meeting started, we've got our CAD team already rolling on getting that converted and getting that design finalized so we can get that thing out the door for permitting. Other than that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Town council comments,
Nothing for me tonight.
Good.
good too.
Make a motion for adjournment.
I'll second that.
We got a motion for adjournment, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so moved.